I think you guys can hear me. Let me know if you can. If you can't, then I need to unmute something because I've just been tinkering with the audio levels. But if you can, good morning. Welcome to twitch.tv/Ice Cream Plus. Tell you what, I'm going to check that out for myself. I'm going to go onto my browser and turn on the audio. Let's see if I can hear. Yes, I can hear my voice. There we go. Okay, I know you guys can hear me. There we go. Let's start again. We can hear you, says Fatman David. Thanks, David. It's Monday the 18th of November, 2019. Welcome to twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. My name is Graham Day, and I am joined by this guy, there we go, who's in a box, but not as colourful as it usually is. Bib has been evicted. Yeah. You look like you're in one of those sort of like terrorist sort of like hostage videos kind of thing. Although, to be fair, if I clip that nicely, you also kind of look like you blended in with the walls in my room behind me as well. So I could have made it look like you were sat here with me.
No, I'm in an unknown disclosed location, parts unknown.
Ooh. So, welcome twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. My name is Graham Day, and this man in the box is the Bib. The man that they call Biberino, Bibber, Boober, Booby. We've got Bibino, and we are bringing you our slice of news. I say slice, it's not even a slice, it is a scoop. This show is the scoop where we bring you our ice cream scoop of news from the games industry and beyond every single day of the week, 10 a.m. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Not every single day, not the weekends. We take some time off, you should too. It's good, recuperate. And yes, Bibby is in the undisclosed location, as you can tell. If you've watched the show, we usually do this on a Wednesday and a Thursday. We do kind of a remote version of the scoop. Monday, Tuesday, and Friday, we're in our big, sexy ice cream studio. However, we are doing secret things, so our ice cream studio is currently being used. So yeah, we can't bring you the broadcast from there, but Bibby has managed to find a secret location somewhere secluded in the ice cream towers. Good effort on that, Bib. But yeah, what is the scoop, I hear you say? Well, the scoop, as I mentioned, we bring you our thoughts, our opinions, and everything on some of the biggest news stories of the day. We have 4 news stories for you today, and we're going to run through those stories with you. I've stolen your studio, send me 15 million rupees to my Western Union, says the adventurist. About £4, mate, or is that actually about the same? Anyway, yes, we will bring you our thoughts over the next hour or so, live on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. If you are watching live on Twitch, you get to get involved with that conversation. And that's important because this turns into an on-demand podcast that we put on YouTube in roughly an hour or so after the show finishes, and then we put it onto 4 podcast services later on in the day. Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, bam. Getting better with that delivery of 4 there. Yeah, I mean, I should have them on a little post-it note just there off screen so that I could just go and read through them. But yes, if you are watching, feel free to get involved because, like I say, we will be turning this into an audio and a video podcast, and you are the only people that can get involved and give us a little bit of feedback and just share your thoughts and opinions too. And that's exactly what we are going to do. Eventful weekend, Bib?
Look, yeah, obviously I wasn't in the office on Friday for undisclosed reasons. Nothing cool, basically. Yeah, I'm not going to go into it. People probably eating the breakfast at this point.
Let me just quickly recap. A shout out to Will Wall for following the channel yesterday, but want to mention that 3 days ago we had a subscriber to the channel. We've got Bibino subscribed to the channel for 16 months with the comment, coming at you from the porcelain. So you can tell why Bibby wasn't in the studio on Friday from that. Thank you, Lord.
It was a total finish. But yeah, barring that, I went out on Saturday around these parts here in Blackpool, so I'm just trying to get the chat up. It keeps on saying that the chat disconnected at the phone. No idea why. But yeah, I was around here on Saturday night, and then I basically played games all day yesterday, feeling sorry for myself. Well, Mrs. Bibby left me out. What
games did you play?
Well, you'll be glad to know, Graham, I have now finished Volta.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yes, I have now finished it.
And without spoilers, I've not played it for weeks now, but
yeah.
You say it gets better towards the end? You say it tapers off?
I wouldn't say it tapers off. I definitely think there's going to be a new one. I think there's definitely going to be a second one. But it's as predictable as you expect it to be from a storyline like that.
Okay. I'm just currently retweeting our Go Live tweets from twitch.tv twitter.com/Ice Cream Uploads or at Ice Cream Uploads on Twitter. It's the easiest way to say it. I think I suppose that's kind of what you expect for playing through a story mode like that. It's quite soft, light, easy to predict. My phone is going crazy. And Pirate has as well. Thank you to everyone that hits retweets on all the social posts. It's very much appreciated because it makes this show go a little bit further, which is good because the more eyes on it, the more people get in the chat, the better the conversations are. Do you know what? Just if things get bigger and better, then we can deliver more things to you. Speaking about bigger and better, let's jump straight into the news because I would tell you what I did all weekend, but you could probably guess PUBG, ding 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 ding, and not too much. So yeah, let's jump straight into our first piece of content today. As you can see, hopefully, there we go on screen. As you can see, Gold Call is going live tonight at 9 p.m. on Channel 5. That's the end of that news article. I mean, these raps, I mean, like I say, we should be getting a cut from Channel 5 here because more people are going to be watching this on twitch.tv/icecreamuploads than reading the Metro online. Surely. I'm joking. So, GameCentral at the Metro says that Resident Evil 2 is the Golden Joystick Awards 2019 Ultimate Game of the Year winner. I'll just take that off screen for just a second. I imagine we can find the link in the chat. If the whole broadcast isn't there, the whole broadcast might not be there, but we definitely have some clips of Bibby shitting himself playing through the Resident Evil 2 remake on twitch.tv/icecreamuploads. Anyway, we'll jump back into the article. It says, the winners of the 2019 Golden Joystick Awards have been announced, with Untitled Goose Game and Control both picking up awards. If the Game Awards have become the video game equivalent of the Oscars, then the Golden Joysticks are the MTV Awards. They're voted on by the public, and this year 3.5 million people cast their vote in 19 different categories. This was the 37th Golden Joysticks, so they've been going for over 3 decades now. Although, as you might imagine, they didn't used to be live streamed on Twitch and YouTube like they are now. Kind of a throwaway sentence, but okay. Anyway, you can see all the winners below, but it was Resident Evil 2 that shambled, off with the Ultimate Game of the Year, as well as being only one of 2 games to win more than one award, as it also won for Best Audio. Days Gone won PlayStation Game of the Year, and quite inexplicably, Best Storytelling, which makes no sense to us, as the storytelling was one of the worst parts of an already mediocre game. To say it like you feel, guys. I mean, you're not holding punches or anything. Other than that, though, most of the winners seemed quite sensible, with Outrun and Shenmue creator Yu Suzuki honoured with a Lifetime Achievement Award, and Cyberpunk 2077 being named as the most wanted game for 2019. So that goes on to list the full 2019 Golden Joystick Awards winners. As they mentioned, Best Storytelling goes to Days Gone, Best Multiplayer Game, Apex Legends, Still Playing Award, Minecraft. That's quite a good one. Still Playing. I quite like that one because that way you can give an award to the likes of the Minecrafts and the Fortnites and whatever that are like absolutely smashing it, but weren't actually 2019 games. Best Visual Design, Devil May Cry 5. Best Indie Game, Outer Worlds. Esports Game of the Year, Fortnite. Best Audio, Resident Evil 2. Best Game Expansion, GTA Online Diamond Casino Update. Best VR AR Game, Beat Saber. Best Gaming Hardware, Nvidia 20 Series Super Graphics Cards. If you want to see the full list, we will link it in the patch notes. But yeah, I'll go to the console-specific ones. PC Game of the Year, Magic the Gathering, World of Warcraft Classic. In partnership with Magic the Gathering Arena. So the PC Game of the Year is World of Warcraft Classic. The PlayStation Game of the Year is Days Gone, and the Xbox Game of the Year is Gears 5, whilst Nintendo's Game of the Year is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So yeah. Thoughts and impressions, babe. I mean, I can't imagine you being very, very excited about Resident Evil winning any games like Audio or Ultimate Game. I mean, you're not a really big fan.
No, I've been saying it for weeks now leading up to the awards, because you've obviously had the Esports Awards this weekend, and the Golden Joystick Awards as well, and for me, like, Resident Evil 110% Game of the Year. I've been saying it for months. As soon as I played it, I was like, there's not going to be a game this year that's going to beat it. How, the one thing that I don't understand though is how is the Ultimate Game of the Year Resident Evil 2, and then the Best Storytelling Days Gone, how does that work out?
This is why I'm not the biggest fan of public voted awards. Because, I haven't played Days Gone. It's another one that I have that is in my PlayStation library that is sat there waiting for me to play it, and it's just kind of like, Graham? Yeah, you gotta. I mean, forget playing it. Are you even going to install me yet? You've paid for me. I'm there. Are you gonna? So I have it, and I was massively wowed by. I mean, I think I've even shown it on the Scoop before. I was massively wowed by the Days Gone first E3 trailer back in like 2017 or whenever it was, and it's basically some guy just being chased by a massive horde, and it's sick. But then obviously. I'm kind of gearing up to it coming out, and it was coming out at the same time as another zombie game. I can't remember. Was it like another DayZ or a H1Z1 or something? Something came out on the same day. Two zombie games coming out on the same day. One on the Xbox kind of feel, and one PlayStation exclusive. And then Days Gone. Thank you very much for the host precision. If you're in the chat, hello, good morning. Hope everything's going well for you and the familia. Dan Lad Game says morning. Is Bibby in the lab again? He is. Bibby is fresh from the porcelain. Bibby's audio is either quiet or coming through your mic and not the mixer. I don't have a mixer, so it's hopefully not coming through a mixer. It's all running through the PC. But Bibby's audio potentially is quiet because he's in a separate location. If it is quiet for everyone else, if you can't hear him, let me know and I can boost him up. It is kind of loud for me though, so just let me know. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Days Gone. It unanimously across all of my media consumption sources was a bit pants in terms of it didn't quite deliver in terms of a story aspect that everyone it didn't deliver what people wanted, and the fact that it's won best storytelling ahead of everything else that's come out in 2019 is quite bizarre, I must admit.
Yeah, I mean it is just one of them things at the moment. If people are saying that it's there's people who I know that would never platinum a game that have platinum this game because they enjoyed it so much. But I think it's one of them you either love it or you absolutely hate it. I haven't played it, so I've not got an opinion. But what I have played is Resident Evil 2, and it 110% is Game of the Year. I'll be very surprised if it doesn't pick up a few awards at the actual Game Awards later on. I think it's either next week or the week after.
Yeah. Just want to quickly bring something on screen. As soon as you mentioned it already, the two-time back-to-back 1993, 1994 blockbuster. So this is Dr. Disrespect 2019. What a year! This award is for everyone in the industry, passionate about gaming, passionate about entertaining. Congrats, streaming industry. Let's keep pushing it. The talent for next year's Streamer of the Year nomination is going to be on another level, and I love it. Says the Doc. So yeah, there you go. Dr. Disrespect. I brought it up just because Baby mentioned it previously. It won at the Esports Industry Awards, Streamer of the Year again, which I feel is pretty much been the streamer of the last 3 years. But Ninja was definitely going to win it last year. It's only right though that it turns.
It shows you that the people who he was in with are just all exceptional streamers. People like Courage, like Shroud, like Ninja. There's just so many people at the moment that are coming through who. Every single one of them has got their own little community, and sometimes they'll cross over. But Dr. Disrespect didn't once mention Ninja in his acceptance speech. He thanked people like Formal and Shroud and that for playing with him, but he never once mentioned Ninja, despite him saying, I get to play with some of the best gamers in the world.
I love his indirects. I was watching the PUBG Global Invitational from Berlin, like 2017. I was looking at I was looking for something Shroud related. I can't remember what it was, but it was like Thursday, Friday last week, and they had like the Doc and Shroud, who were a team. I think they were doing duos, and then there was Ninja on the stage, and the way that like Doc was instantly going in at Ninja kind of thing, it was just like let's.
What I did see though is I saw Syndicate stand up and give him a standing ovation when Doc ended up winning it. So I don't know whether or not they had a conversation before the award started, or we, as predicted, we think it's some sort of behind the scenes beef to try and push something.
Yeah,
but we don't know what.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's some sort of content like that. My issue with it, if it is there's no hashtag ad. But yeah, maybe it isn't. It sounds muffled, sorted now. That's better. Okay. The issue I had was that the audio from my audio output PC was just quite low, which is the bit that I was kind of saying at the start of the stream. I thought it was working, but it was obviously my mic is a separate audio source, so my mic was fine, but Bibby's audio wasn't. So apologies if you're listening to this on podcast services. Bibby will have been quiet for the start of the show.
I'm very aware of how loud I'm being as well in this little room next to the office. So I apologise if I sound like I'm shouting. But it's very weird in this room because it echoes a lot as well. So I don't actually know how loud I'm being. But I suppose I'll find out when I leave this room, and then people are saying, "What was you shouting for an hour?" It's like, okay, sorry.
Well, everyone was in the chat was saying that they could hear you, but it was muffled. I genuinely think that because the audio level was low, it was probably a mixture of the audio level being low on the PC plus feedback from the headset through the microphone. But you should be good now. You should be good now. If it's too loud or if it's too quiet, let us know in the chat. But if it's good, then sweet. Doc's my favourite character. Love the attitude. Yeah.
Absolutely. It is. There's no one that compares to on an entertainment level. There is literally no one even close to his standard.
I mean,
as an entertainer, no one close. As a gamer,
after Ice Cream uploads, obviously. I mean, I agree with you then. I mean, 2 times back to back, 2019, 2020 Ice Cream champions. I don't know what the fuck I was going with that. But other games that won awards, Untitled Old Goose Game. What do you reckon? Have you tried it? Would you try it? Is it your kind of thing? Or...
No, but I watched Jess play it, and it's 110% not a game that I'm ever going to be interested in.
It's one of those sort of like, it's perfect, he's perfect, says Precision.
Oh, Precision!
What a guy! Control I'd try, and Cyberpunk I'd try. I think most of the awards are just kind of standard. My issue with the Golden Joysticks, and I've been to the Golden Joysticks, it is a really good ceremony to be at, but you kind of like when we were at the Golden Joysticks, I was sat around a table with the likes. I was sat next to Holly Bennett from PlayStation, and we were talking about we were basically making predictions in the table of what games were going to win each category, and you kind of make your predictions based on what you think will happen. But then you also then go, actually, let's get rid of that because that's what I think I would like to happen. But what's really going to happen is the internet are going to vote on something. So whilst the Golden Joysticks are good and they do serve a purpose, my personal opinion is that anything that has the public vote on it, we as people can't be entrusted to have nice things.
Not at all.
Is my general feeling. I mean, working in the internet world and online marketing and so on, the fact that it just becomes a popularity contest. It's either someone who has the most followers or someone that has a campaign engineered towards delivering a specific result. I think you can skew awards like that into your favour, which the fact that the Game Awards has like a step removed from that. They probably allow people to have their thoughts, and they probably do scope of public opinion, but then they also... thank you very much, Pez Community, for the host. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Trickle in. Sorry, we've been speaking about the duck. The fact that they have their own decision-making, be it a committee or just critics, the fact that they take something from... a step removed from that public sort of we've got 10,000 people that like it as opposed to 2,000 people that like it. Just because you got more likes doesn't mean it's a better product. But yeah. I still think he reminds me of Mullet Man. Bibber. He does. Yes. I did actually watch the Mullet Man clip. I completely forgot about it. Did you ever watch Scuzz music TV channel when you were growing up, Bib?
Absolutely, considering I'm a massive fan of metal.
Yeah. Do you remember the Mullet Man sort of skits? There was a rocker with a black vest, strange teeth, mullet. That's my brother said it in the chat the other day that he thinks the doc reminds him of Mullet Man, and I was like, "What's Suz TV?" But he typoed it. Anyway, he sent me the link after the show. I was like, completely forgot that even existed. But yeah, the Mullet Man's got nothing on the doc, so step back away from the two-time.
Well, have you watched his acceptance speech?
I haven't, no.
Watch it later on, it's brilliant.
Is it good?
It's the first time I've seen him anywhere close to being nervous.
Saying that, I mean, I was talking about the PUBG Global Invitational 20... I think it was 20... It might be 2018, or whenever it was in Berlin, anyway. And you've got Shroud, Doc, and Ninja on stage with Frankie, esports host. And even then, you could see he was, because he wasn't in his arena, he wasn't in his comfort zone. He just didn't have the same way of slapping people down. I think Shroud basically took the piss out of the Doc, and rather than pulling him apart, the Doc was just kind of shaking his head almost like the cheek of this young cocky individual. But he wasn't even saying that, which was kind of like, yeah, you could see that he was out of his comfort zone. The last one he won, I'm sure, he was absolutely hammered. When he won like the last one, not 2018, 2017, it was funny because a lot of the internet still now has no idea who Dr. Disrespect is, but 2 years ago they had absolutely no idea. And I just kept seeing loads of those clips of when your custom character is in a cutscene, and it was just the Doc stood on stage with his. It's like, yeah.
Where was it? It was like an NBA game, and he was sort of sat courtside, and you could just see the ball being put towards the hoop which he was sat at. You just seen him there in the background with his mullet, his glasses, and his headphones,
and his vest and everything. Yeah. GG Doc. G to the G. So yes. Anyway, we'll move on from that. We'll wrap that one. So Resident Evil 2 is the Golden Joystick Awards 2019 Ultimate Game of the Year, and also is Bibby's 2019 Ultimate Game of the Year, no doubt.
I can't wait to see how it pans out in the Video Game Awards in a couple of weeks. I'm so looking forward to see how it places, because it needs to win something, not just because of how much I was invested in the storyline and how it is my favourite all-time Resident Evil game, being remade from '98 to now. For me, it was the perfect Resident Evil, and we need more Resident Evils, so this is definitely the way forward for it.
It's interesting to see, though, that a game that isn't even made from this year, a game that's remade from a previous year, the fact that won the Ultimate Game of the Year shows, well, you could say it shows two things. You could say it shows it was a weak year for video games, but the other side of the coin is that weak or not, that's irrelevant. It was just a very, very good video game in its own right, whether it was a remake or not. I mean, so many games have been remade that have just been kind of shit. For a game to be remade and then still go ahead and win the Ultimate Game of the Year is a huge achievement.
It beat the remake of World of Warcraft. So what does that say?
Well, exactly, and I'm going to say, even if it is just public opinion, there's a lot of people that really like World of Warcraft. I mean, it gets more viewers on Twitch than Resident Evil Remake 2 does. I mean, it probably didn't. I don't know what it was like side by side on launch day for one versus the other. Obviously, World of Warcraft is a continued service, so it's easier for WoW Classic to get more viewers, whereas Resident Evil is a story that once you finish the campaign, it's over and done with, so naturally it won't have as many viewers. But that even still, having a continued service, always on sort of game that has a huge following and players like Shroud and whoever sticking to it day in, day out, but then still losing out to Resident Evil 2 Remake shows just how good a game it must have been.
Absolutely.
And now from one game to another, I mean, obviously, be interested to know whether you guys think this is a good game or could be a good game, or whether you indeed think that the first one was a good game. This is a news article on Eurogamer by Vikki Blake, and she says, yes, Dead Island 2 is still alive, and it's going to be a kick-ass zombie game. No dead ends here. Pants, sick pants. So from one zombie game to the next, from Resident Evil to Dead Island. So Vikki Blake says, remember that Dead Island sequel we were promised? Since its reveal way back at E3, and there's about 6 A's in there, I'm not just over-pronouncing that because that's what I do, it actually says that. So since its reveal way back at E3 2014, the sequel's seen 3 development studios and a number of delays, but if you're worried publisher Koch Media has forgotten all about it, CEO Clemens Kondratis wants you to know the numerous delays are merely evidence of the team's dedication to getting it right. My favourite question, Kondratic said, when our friends at GI Biz asked for an update on the beleaguered zombie sequel. I can't see who that is, whoever that was, thank you very much. Oh, Pirate! Thank you very much for the host, Pirate. Good morning. My favourite question, Kondratic said, when our friends at GI Biz asked for an update on the beleaguered zombie sequel. Look, Dead Island is a very important brand for us, and we've got to get it right. It's just a testimony of our dedication to get it right. It's a great story to tell everyone that it's on its 3rd studio, but we'd like to be judged on the end result, and we're really confident that when it comes out, it's going to be a kick-ass zombie game. We'll certainly give it all our power. Although series creator Techland initially hoped to develop the sequel, in the end, it realised it was too busy with Dying Light, so Jaeger took over with a view to releasing in Q2 2015. Since then, Dead Island 2 has since changed hands 2 more times, moving from Jaeger to Sumo Digital in 2016, and then again to Dambuster Studios, which took the helm earlier this year. As yet, there's no firm commitment on when the game might finally be released. So it's an interesting one, this one. I mean, did you ever play Dead Island, Bib?
I played both of them. I played Dead Island 1 and Dead Island Riptide. 2 of my all-time favourite games, to be fair. And a little small bit of trivia. Dead Island was the very first game that I ever reviewed via video. So putting it, like recording the commentary, recording the video, and then putting it all together. That was the very first game that I ever reviewed.
Can we get a link for that, Bib?
I may have put it on private because looking back at it, it's atrocious. But yes, I will unprivate it and I will make it live.
We need to see this video. I love watching, like, be it an old video or be it a written article. If I go back and read something, like a lot of people in chat will know that I used to be a news writer / reviewer on PezFan.com back in a million years ago, probably 10, 12 years ago now. Anyway, reading stuff that I had on PezFan, now I'm just thinking, my God, I was such an absolute noob. So yeah, that's the reason why I asked Cameron. There we go.
Yeah, that was the very first game I ever reviewed. I can't actually remember what it was, but maybe 6 years ago. Jesus, here it is. Game review, Dead Island Riptide. Oh, God. May the 5th, 2013.
Nice. Good effort. One second. I loved Resident Evil 2 Remake 2. Bibby almost killed me when it was out 1 month, and I'd never even started it. God damn it, Precision. Don't do this to the man. Hello, Treacle, says Pirate. Is Bibby on the shitter? Yes, he is. Bibby on the shitter. Let's come back to Dead Island, though. I remember Dead Island, the original game, purely because of one of the most powerful trailers I've ever seen. If you haven't seen it, if anyone in the chat has played through The Last of Us but hasn't seen the Dead Island trailer, then do yourself a favour and go watch the Dead Island Reverse trailer. I think it might be called Reverse, I can't remember the name. Basically, it's a trailer that runs, like, as you guess, in reverse. It's back from the end to the beginning kind of thing, and it is such a powerful trailer. The thing for me as well is the first Dead Island came out when, at a time, or at least the trailer came out at a time when I was a new dad. Similar sort of thing as The Last of Us. See if I can bring. Is this the trailer or is this your?
Good afternoon, guys.
Yeah, that's my review. I've just dropped into the chat. It's so embarrassing.
Dead Island Riptide. I absolutely smashed
it. What you talking about? It started to break up then because obviously I'm using the Wi-Fi in the office. Are you talking about the Dead Island 1 or 2 trailer?
Dead Island 1. I'm just going back a bit first.
Right.
So Dead Island 1 had. I was saying it had a trailer that had as much power as the start of The Last of Us. So if you played through The Last of Us, and that, no spoilers, but the starting section of The Last of Us is some of the most powerful gameplay that you're ever gonna go through emotionally. And I was I'm a parent, you all know that, but at that time, obviously it has a lot of some of the themes going through it are parent, obviously Joel and Ellie and that relationship and stuff. That parental guidance, like that is a running theme throughout The Last of Us, and that helps make it powerful. I don't know if that makes it even more powerful for me because I'm a dad, or if that's a universal thing. Obviously you guys can tell me that, but that helped add to it, I feel, for me. And the trailer for the first Dead Island was the same. It's interesting though to see that, because I mean, we work with Koch Media, full disclosure, on Ice Cream Uploads, so we do work with Koch Media, and we have done for many years, and I remember seeing the first trailer for Dead Island 2 come out, and it was like the jogging down the beachfront, and there's some guy with his headphones on, kind of oblivious to the fact that there's zombies all around him being eaten and stuff like that. Really good trailer. Obviously not as impactful for me as the first one. I think they'd have been hard pushed to get anywhere near that level of impact again without just copying the same sort of formula and going, oh, it's the same thing. So, but even still, really, really good trailer. But that was like 4 years ago, and it's still not out now. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see more.
I remember years ago when that second trailer came out, and everyone thought that Jack Black were going to be in the game, because there is a guy in that trailer when he runs him over towards the end, who it absolutely sounds like Jack Black, but it was never confirmed to be a part of the game.
One thing that does sound funny is this.
Amazing. I was a newcomer to the game. I say newcomer. I did get.
I can't hear anything, so I'm
Oh.
guessing you're playing my trailer.
But it just got a bit repetitive.
It sounded like you then, but when it first started off, you sounded like baby, baby,
Yeah.
baby.
I think at that point, because it was the first one that I'd done, I don't think I found my voice yet. I hadn't found like my commentary style. I haven't found the way to deliver stuff. It was basically just me talking. I didn't even have a microphone. I was using my webcam microphone at that point. So it's probably, it's not even worth listening to.
I love the way that we're talking about your audio quality, yet we have you sat in a bog on today's version of... he's not really sat in the toilet. For those of you listening to the podcast service, if you just missed it at the beginning, we have been uprooted from the Ice Cream Upload studio today. I'm out of office, whereas Bibby usually when we do this is in the Ice Cream studio. But we have things going on that we can't really discuss until probably the end of the week. We might be able to give you a bit more information on it. But at the moment, the studio is being used for something else, which is why Bibby looks and sounds like he is in a toilet.
It feels like I've come full circle because I'm sat in a room talking into a microphone that's used on the webcam. So it's just come full circle.
Wow. But it's... I love the fact that, anyway, coming back to the news, I love the fact that THQ, which then obviously went to Koch Media, and I love the fact that Koch Media haven't given up on Dead Island. I mean, they bought such a strong IP from THQ in Dead Island that it would be kind of daft for them to let it go. And particularly, obviously, we've just seen on the previous article that there is definitely a need for zombie games. One of the things, there was definitely a valid point in the fact that we had too many of them. Particularly go back 5 years ago, it was kind of like, let's do zombie everything. And whether Call of Duty was partly to blame with that, with releasing the zombie mode and that being successful, but we had all of like Walking Deads, and we had Resident Evils, and we had everything was just doing, let's add zombies to it. Let's just throw zombies in, and I think Dead Island did it really well in terms of it wasn't just, oh look, it's just another zombie game. Yes, let's attach a chainsaw to the end of a stick, like most things now. They kind of made it all about, let's have a horde mode, or let's just have an endless stream of zombies running, and let's give people stupid, gory weapons and stuff to use. They kind of stuck to their guns and said, no, we want some sort of narrative, even from our trailers, that kind of has a bit of either emotive trailers like they did with the first one, or something that's a different kind of emotive. And that trailer, Baby was talking about Jack Black, going down that avenue, I feel they kind of wanted to push it further. So it's not surprising to see Koch Media pushing that through the likes of Jaeger, pushing that through the likes of Sumo, and then Dambuster. I mean, we've heard those discussions from inside, like it changing from one studio to the next. I hope that doesn't kind of water down the proposition. I mean, on one hand, passing it from pillar to post could be a case of too many chefs or not a fully realised dream. But it could also mean that they've taken the creative input that Jaeger have put in, and then Sumo have gone, oh, actually, that's pretty good. This is what we'd like to do with it. And then as it gets to Dambuster Studios, Dambuster have been like, okay, these are all sick ideas, and this is how we can take that forward. So it might overall lead to a nice, sexy piece of content as an end article. Whether it can hit the lofty heights of Resident Evil 2, I mean, I'd like to see that. It's a big ask of anyone, though.
Well, I think the IP for Dead Island is prestige enough for them to be at least do decent sales, especially with how long people have waited for the game. But I just remembered now, did you ever listen to the song that was part of the first game by Sam B, that Hoodoo You Voodoo?
No.
Right, well, you need to find it. No, obviously not listen to it now, because you definitely will get copywritten, but later on, is one of the characters in it called Sam B. He was a rapper, and I think it broke out for, I think he was at a Sam B concert, and you're at the hotel, and that's where you start, and you break it, and that's when the virus breaks out. But he did a song called Hoodoo You Voodoo, and it's an absolute tune.
Sam B, Hoodoo You Voodoo. Okay, I'll put that one after. One thing I will do though is I'll bring this full screen whilst we're chatting. So we're talking about Dead Island, so I might as well play the trailer. I won't leave it all on because, as you can see there, it's like 3 minutes long. But this is the first trailer going back 5 years. This was E3 2014, so 5.5 years almost by now. Yeah, this is the one that Bibby was talking about that has like Jack Black towards the end of it. As you can see, fully molded on my character in real life, like 3D scanned, as you can tell from the muscles and the goddamn slick back hair. Whoop, zombie bite. So yeah, it's kind of a tricky one though in terms of like you can't say anything about this in terms of when you expect it to be coming out because it's been in development for 5 years across 3 different studios, and they are committed to doing it right. But yeah, I think is that comment without any context? Is that comment from the developer from Koch Media? Is that just that they've been asked a question, or is that a proactive comment? Because
I think that's such a PR statement for them to say that though. I don't think there's anything. I don't think he said anything new that hasn't already been said a million times for him anyway. I'd like to see it again. I don't think we're going to see it anytime soon because, as it says in the article as well, with them taking over Dying Light and that being such a success, why would they focus their attention elsewhere? Because they know they've got a sure thing. Like, I think they've just put a load of, I don't want to call it a live service, but they've added so much DLC to Dying Light. That was their priority because that was making money.
Yeah, I think that kind of. Yeah, I think you're right when you're saying I don't think we're going to see it soon. My reading of that is that they've been asked the question by a journalist, and they haven't been forthcoming with the question. So they've not said, "Hi guys, we're here to talk about Dead Island." If that's the case, then you know the game's coming. I think what's happened is that a journalist has just gone out of his way to ask a question about Dead Island, and it's been turned into a news article. Really, what's happening is they do have the IP, and yes, it is in production. And yes, it will hopefully come in 2021, in 2020, maybe 2021. But then again, we've been hopefully seeing it since this trailer that's on the screen came out in 2014. So I think, yeah, take it with a pinch. They would like to make it right, but by saying they'd like to make it right, what they're actively saying is it's still in progress. But I've taken it off as the trailer's still going. It's still in progress, but they're not at the point where it's anywhere near out. If it was gonna be, I think they'd have said that already. I'm distracted by watching this trailer on the screen now. I need to get
this trailer's so good, man. So good.
The thing is, well, get the body you deserve. I mean, I'm gonna kill it now. Goodbye, trailer. Like that trailer is 4 years old, and it shows just how much they have to work with already on that game in terms of the design style and the creative concept. It doesn't really give you anything about the story of the game, but yeah, hopefully we see it soon so we can have another in-depth, creative look at delivering a story within a zombie world. Because, I mean, one thing they don't want to do is push it out because The Last of Us are obviously going to be doing that. It's not zombies, technically, next year with the clickers and things like that. But, yeah, The Last of Us will give you a powerful story in a zombie world.
Mm-hmm.
As long as they give us a good, fun story within it, I think, then I'd give yourself a little bit of breathing space, then yeah.
I think they've released too many zombie games over like the last 5 years, and only a handful of them have been actually worth playing.
Yeah.
So I mean, Dead Island was never a serious game. It was a game that you'd play if you wanted a fun zombie game with your friends, because you can play with up to 4 people on this game. So it was definitely one that you could just jump in with your friends and play. It wasn't a serious one. So if they could bring out something like that again, where you're not just taking out hordes and hordes and hordes of zombies, it's a game that doesn't take itself too serious, then they're on to a winner.
Yes, exactly. Morning, D-Max says, morning, Cream Team in the chat. Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Morning, sir.
We've just been speaking about, well, we started off talking about Resident Evil 2 winning Game of the Year, talking about Dead Island 2 being teased as it's still in production and will be coming again soon. And then we were just kind of evolving through the conversation of zombie games and how there's been too many of them, and we're hoping that one actually gives us a bit of substance. Obviously, we'll have The Last of Us next year, and then whenever it follows, hopefully Dead Island 2 gives us a bit more substance in a story mode. One thing Babe did mention, and this is going to faction in a cheesy sandwich tangent into our next news story, there has been a lot of zombie games that haven't quite hit the mark. Some for different reasons. I mean, one that did hit the mark for a lot of people but didn't for me was the inclusion of like zombie modes where you get that horde mentality of kill them all before they kill you. And this is the tangent, was prominently featured in the likes of Call of Duty, which leads us nicely to this news article by Wesley Yin-Poole, deputy editor of Eurogamer, and I could do words, as you can tell. Massive Call of Duty Modern Warfare datamine reveals loads of battle royale details. So, from one thing that might have been overdone into another. 200 players, the enormous map, a 1v1 gulag, and more. Excuse me. So Call of Duty Modern Warfare has been data mined to within an inch of its life, revealing a raft of details about the inevitable Battle Royale mode. Over on the Modern Warfare subreddit, notorious Call of Duty leaker Senescalo, I'm going to assume is the name, posted the massive map for the Battle Royale. If you're watching on the video services, you can see we've got the maps on screen now. If you aren't, and you watch it, you're listening to us on the podcast services, the audio services, then Bibby is doing an interpretive dance right now on screen to show exactly what the map would look. And it's not really clear enough because we've got the maps on screen. Anyway, so there's multiple images showing maps and some screen grabs and some probably in-game art showing different parts of the map. And then we get back to the content. It says, the leak reveals a full list of zones and points of interest, perks, and kill streaks. The default option is set. The default options set the player count at 200, with modes of solo, duos, and squads of 4. As players have already pointed out, Modern Warfare's Battle Royale map includes the huge Ground War and Spec Ops maps inside it. It's massive then, but it should be if we're looking at a 200-player experience, which is... Has there been a successful 200-player Battle Royale yet? Obviously, there was like the Mavericks, which was going to be 1,000, but then died off. Has there been anything with 200 yet?
I haven't seen or played any that is over 100.
Yeah, me neither. Wait, so we aren't getting an alternative dance from Bibby? Rip, says Pirate. You guys can't see it. He's literally been doing it for about 15 minutes kind of thingy, but obviously while we've got the articles on screen, then you can't see it. And like a raging eye. There's an interesting sounding respawn mechanic. Respawn tokens can be looted. After you use one, they're disabled for you. To respawn a teammate, you have to burn your respawn token and drag their body to the ambulance. This enters them into the gulag queue. At some point in the match, the gulag closes, thus preventing respawns. Interesting. The gulag sounds cool. This prison camp gives players the chance to get back into the match by winning a 1v1 fight. Wow, that's pretty cool. So basically you get a chance. It's almost like a flip a coin whether you're going to win or lose, but it's not flipping a coin. You get a 1v1 deathmatch, and if you win it, you get back in the game. If you lose it, you don't. I wonder if you're playing against someone else that also wants to get back in the game. So there we go. Players in the Gulag queue spectate the players currently fighting in the Gulag, with a countdown showing how long you have left before it's your turn to fight. Apparently, a jailbreak happens every so often and kicks all the players out of the Gulag and back into the match. Interestingly, you can place bets on the players who are fighting in the Gulag using plunder, which, according to Senescala's post, you earn by completing missions and eliminating enemies. You spend plunder on items at plunderbox locations and can convert it into experience points by depositing it into ATM machines. When players enter a bank, the bank alarm will sound, alerting other players to your presence. Senescalo has even uncovered an image for plunder. Okay, quite a lot to unpack there. So, Call of Duty Modern Warfare has Battle Royale. Battle Royale in Modern Warfare is huge, with a map that includes the Spec Ops mode and Ground War. So, huge Ground War. I mean, Ground War is big enough anyway. Ground War, is that like 64 players in a lobby? Or something like that? So, you've got the Ground War map, which is big, plus the Spec Ops area, which obviously is a standalone mode. They are areas within the overall Modern Warfare Battle Royale mode. So the map is massive. Okay, we've got that nailed on. Big map, loads of different areas, as you'd expect to see within it. It was just like having the map on Black Ops, I believe, was some of the... Was it like areas from different Black Ops
different game
games.
modes.
Yeah. So understandable. Kind of same thing again. People will be familiar with the modes. Makes sense. So you can die in the game, as you can in any battle royale, but you can respawn. And to do that, you need a respawn token. If you have a respawn token, you can bring your teammate back, but once you've used it, it's burned. So it's essentially one token, one respawn. Once you've used it, you then have to drag your teammate to the ambulance. Putting them into the ambulance gets them sent to the gulag, and when they go to the gulag, they have a 1v1 fight to get back into the game. I'm assuming that's how it works. Whilst you're in the gulag, you are.
That's super intense.
It is. I mean, it sounds cool. Don't get me wrong, but it just sounds long as well. I mean, maybe it's not as long as it sounds, but for me to go, okay, I have to earn a respawn token. I then have to spend my respawn token. I then have to drag Bibby, because it's always Bibby that dies, to the ambulance. Put Bibby in the ambulance. Bibby just pulled one of those faces. Do you know when you're holding back a yawn, like a?
Can you see that?
Yeah. The funny thing is, I mentioned to Bibby before we started that I started watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine last night, and there's an episode where Terry Crews is like talking to the captain, and he's like, the captain's like, "Go home, you need some sleep." He's like, "No, I'm fine." Doing like withheld yawn face, and that's what Bibby's doing. So there we go. Anyway, so respawn token. Get them to an ambulance, send them off in the ambulance to the gulag. When they're in the gulag, they sit in a queue then, watching other people fight to the death. If you win your fight to the death, you come back into the game. I'm assuming without any stuff, and you then have to restart your looting process again. How long is a game of Battle Royale in this? Because if you've got 200 people, which is 2 times as big as PUBG, 2 times as big as Fortnite, 2 times as big as all the other BRs that you've probably played, and then you've got respawns in it. So 200 people could become 300 people. Let's assume half the people get a respawn in it. On a massive map, a game of BR and this, either the circles move fast, wiping people out, or you're going to have a 45-minute game of BR there. That's going to be... This is going to be an absolute banger. Should have been 1v1 and Rust. Yeah! 1v1 and Rust, mate. But the thing as well, apparently jailbreak happens every so often. So if you're in the gulag, in the queue, waiting to get back into the game, about to have your 1v1 fight to the death, but then you can hear ring, everyone gets thrown out of the gulag, and then everyone's back into the game. Do they all come running out of the gulag in the same place? Because the gulag, if I bring this map on screen for you here, as you can see, the gulag, they're in the bottom corner of the map. So the gulag's there. Do they all get thrown out of the gulag together? Is there going to be like an influx of 20 people just running from the bottom corner of the map? If so, surely that means the Krovnik farmland area, if you sit up there with a sniper rifle, it's just going to be pop. It's just going to be like noob farming, just picking up.
Yeah, you'd be able to rack up kills there. But the weird thing is, I didn't even know that Battle Royale was coming to this Modern Warfare. I thought it was going to try and keep it on Black Ops to keep you playing both games.
Yeah, I kind of thought the same thing. The fact that we'd not heard about it yet made me think, it's just not happening. But, as we've just seen, maybe that's Modern Warfare going, okay, well, we're going to launch with a game. We're not going to make it about Battle Royale. Black Ops has done that. And arguably, the focus on Blackout and Black Ops kind of overshined it. It kind of almost gave it a feel of, once you've played Blackout, there's not really much else to do in Black Ops because there's no story mode. They focused on Battle Royale. I think maybe they've done it the other way here, and they've gone kind of, we've got a huge campaign. Let's just talk about the campaign. There is campaign and there's multiplayer, but it's campaign. And then when everyone smashed it, they go, actually, Battle Royale as well. Yeah, boy. Someone's clicked. Oh, Pirates clicked. Bibby holding back the yawn. Holding back the yawn. Hashtag simply read. I will open that shortly. So yeah, maybe they've done it the right way in terms of leaving it back. Hopefully it's not just a case of they've gone, yeah, we'll do Battle Royale, and then gone, we've not got the resources for it, and then just left it within the code, because obviously data mining, it being in the code, doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to see the light of day. We've seen so many games where it doesn't, but for something so big and so intensive that would have taken up so many resources, I'd imagine that it's almost nailed on that it's going to be coming out. And if someone's data mined it and then they don't release it, there's going to be a little bit of butthurt around that too. But I'm all for it. I didn't play much of Blackout, but I did actually quite like it. I didn't like. I mean, I probably would have liked it more towards the end when you didn't just get the ting 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 ting. I like,
Yeah.
as Doc used to say all the time. He used to do it all the time. Ting, 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 ting. He's got ammo. Ting, ting, ting. Armor, should have said. Ting, ting, ting. Oh, ting, ting. I've shattered his armor. Oh, he's found more. Ting, 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 ting. And it's just like, that's what it kind of was for me. So I like the game. I like the mechanics of it. It was definitely fun to play, but I just didn't like the time to kill. But yeah, overall, I love Blackout. Still play it to this day. Nice one, Precision. Nice. You can just...
I seen you playing that last night, actually.
I didn't. I was playing something else. Yeah, no, I said I didn't. I was playing something else. That was me basically saying PUBG. Ding ding.
Sorry, you kept on cutting out, so I assumed. Okay, I should never assume.
Precision, playing something else? Oh, go on then, tell us. Nah, I kind of just did, but you kind of guessed anyway. But do you know what? I'm intrigued. I'm slightly dubious. I am intrigued, but I think I'm on the side of sign me up, motherfuckers, because a 200-man battle royale on a fecking huge map with playground fights on the corner of the map to see if you can get back into it. As someone said, Dan Lad says, if it's one round in the gulag, it's probably going to be about 10 seconds round. Yeah, exactly. Dead. You're back in the game and you're gone. If you're losing the gulag, do you go back to the queue or is that you out? Because I imagine that. Bibby's gone through all that effort. I'm there on the floor. He's dragging me by the scruff of my neck towards this ambulance after earning himself a respawn token. Oh, I'll get you back in the fight, god damn it! Baby just yawned again. I saw it. Look at his face.
Mate, I'm going under it. This room's really warm, so it's playing with my emotions, man.
Oh, I've got a screen on my side here, and every time I look at it, baby just there like.
It's I'm in a very, very comfortable chair. The room's really warm. I'm going under.
Oh, lovely. I can't even remember what I was saying. Oh, that was it. Imagine you're dragging me by the scruff of my neck. You've been through war, literally, to get me back alive, throw me into the gulag, and I go, yeah, boom, dead straight away in the gulag, and you're like, fuck's sake! Just all that effort, and you went and lost your 1-on-1 anyway. This face has put me into a coughing fit because
I can't help it, man. I'm just gonna. You know what? I'm not even gonna try and hide it. I'm just gonna go for it.
Do you know what? Let's.
I then have to spend my resources.
Watch the face.
I then have to drag to the ambulance.
I'm not even entertaining this.
Holding back a yawn.
You do me dirty.
See that? Yeah. To the ambulance. Maybe in the ambulance. Maybe just pull. This is, you know, when you're holding back a yawn.
You're all a set of bastards.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go. Let's slow it down to 0.25 times the speed.
To the ambulance.
I've had enough.
Anyway, back to the show.
Moving. Did you ever play Mag?
Oh, Mag. No.
That was on the PS3, and I think that had about 300 people on it.
Whew. Mag. Online game. No. I don't even remember this. Mag. No, I don't.
Brilliant. It was a brilliant game.
Whew.
I'm sure that had like. It was either over 200 or like 300 people. I can't remember. But it was awesome.
If he starts
way ahead of his time.
If he starts rocking from side to side, it's not a yawn. He's suppressing. He'll be trying to let a silent one go. Baby doesn't let silent one goes. Baby, it's like I don't know, a fog horn, or it's.
Yeah.
You've heard of Resident Evil, like the siren. Oh no, that's Silent Hill. Baby is the siren. Silent Hill siren. Yeah. So. Anyway, from one talk of crap to another. He's on board with the tangents today. Hey.
Rumble in the bumhole. That was literally me for 3 days.
So from one rumble in a bumhole to another, Matt Wales says for Eurogamer, Anthem reportedly set for a major overhaul as BioWare looks to reboot its troubled game, but there's no timeline for delivery yet. I mean, talking about an uphill battle, this is going to be difficult as Anthem. What's Bibby hiding himself? Is he yawning again?
No.
You guys won't have seen that off screen, but Bibby just absolute hand over the camera was hiding another face. Silent cry for help. Since its rocky launch in February, BioWare's online shooter Anthem has struggled to spin its story into a positive one, particularly in light of continued development difficulties and the departure of high-profile team members. However, despite persistent speculation that BioWare and publisher EA might quietly abandon the game, the developer is reportedly now looking to massively overhaul the experience, ready for a future reboot. According to Kotaku's Jason Schreier, plans to overhaul the troubleshooter have been in the works for some time. Eurogamer has previously heard the similar word from its own sources. Rolling down slightly. Kotaku says the project is referred to as both Anthem Next and Anthem 2.0, and those names suggest that the scope of BioWare's intended plans are substantial, with the developer reportedly leaving little untouched. Changes to loot, quests, difficulty, progression, the world map, social elements, and possibly even the entire game structure have all been mooted. According to one source, BioWare teams in both Austin and Edmonton have spent several months just tearing Anthem down and figuring out what needed to change fundamentally. In brackets, a lot. Work on implementing those changes is said to have been ongoing for months too. Although specifics are still hazy, a source said there's lots of testing things out and experimentation, but still nothing concrete. One person told Kotaku that BioWare may attempt to separate its map into smaller chunks to enable them to play around with each one more freely without the constant worry of introducing map-wide bugs. Additionally, it's given... There's Bibby... There's Bibby squeezing one out. God's sake, Bib.
Next time he does that, basically that means that the iced coffee guy is over the road.
According to one source, I've done that one. Additionally, it's given consideration to what mission technically is, which could see what a mission technically is, which could see Anthem abandoning the need to return to Fort Tarsis at the end of each quest to better integrate the disparate parts of the game. There's currently no timeline for the advent of Anthem 2.0, however, and discussions are still ongoing. There's currently no timeline for the advent of Anthem 2.0, however, and the discussions are still ongoing about how such a significant overhaul might be delivered. Options include smaller updates to the current game over an extended period of time, or as one large update, and there's reportedly even talk of launching it as a brand new game, albeit not one that current players would be expected to pay full price for. In a recent community update, BioWare's head of live services, Chad Robertson, told fans that the developer had heard their concerns on core issues in Anthem and are acting on it, but that addressing these points would require a more thorough review and reworking of systems versus quick fixes, aligning with today's report. With no official word on potential Anthem reboot, however, it may be some time before we learn if the declarations of the game's demise have indeed been greatly exaggerated. As for BioWare's other projects, Kotaku reports, perhaps surprisingly given Andromeda's reception, that a new Mass Effect game is in very early development at the studio's Edmonton office, with longtime producer Mike Gamble said to be serving as director. Meanwhile, work continues on the previously announced Dragon Age 4. Let's just quickly jump onto the last comment, which actually ties to Craig redeeming his stream points to highlight his message in the chat. GG. Give us a new Mass Effect game instead. That at the end says, as for BioWare's other projects, Kotaku reports, perhaps surprisingly, given Andromeda's reception, that a new Mass Effect game is basically in the works, is what he's saying. I don't think that's surprising at all. Yes, Mass Effect Andromeda was a bit shit. Don't think it's surprising, though, because you've got a series that's loved like Mass Effect. Craig's even spent 100 of his stream points to redeem his message, to highlight it. So it clearly isn't that surprising at all. If you've got a series that's had a bad game, you don't write it off completely. They did one iteration of a game badly. If you BioWare, you're like, okay, well, we just need to get it right with the next one, and then everyone will kind of forget about it and move on. There's been many series that have had duff games that you think, okay, well, that's not that as great, but let's continue past it. However, slightly different with Anthem. If your entire series is one game and it's shit, then it's kind of harder there. But I don't see that as surprising. I would definitely see EA and BioWare releasing Anthem again, doing 2.0 either within the first game. I think that would be the most difficult one to do. Fixing Anthem in in Anthem. I think without Anthem 2, without that tangible next game, without a tangible cut, I think people will always see it as a piece of shit. You only get one chance at first impressions, and Anthem has had that chance. However, with it being such a big game, in terms of marketing spend, in terms of budgets, in terms of the online presence and the hype towards it, if they can turn that around, then that becomes a huge success story for EA.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Anthem, it never resonated with me at all. As soon as I seen it, I was like, yeah, it's cool that it's flying around in like an Iron Man suit and that, but they just looked like there was next to nothing to do. And obviously that turned out to be the case. We're not going to see another game potentially do a turnaround like this. Then No Man's Sky, and it's something that we've compared it to throughout the entirety of the Scoop. That it's been in existence. But yeah, it's got a long way to go. I mean, the Anthem potentially coming back and doing bits is a pipe dream. There's had so many people leave the studio that I don't know who they've had to try and recruit, whether or not they've recruited from within to try and get stuff sorted out for this. But the only way that they'll be able to make this game a success is by just keep on updating it. Don't bring out a second one. Just patch it. Just run like a 40 gig patch with all the new assets, new story mode, new quests, blah blah blah. Just try and make something of it. That's the only way that you're going to try and get people back on side again. Not asking them to shell out another 30 quid for it.
Yeah, I think that's the thing as well. Is they mentioned something about there'd be a discount maybe for people. I mean, obviously it's an assumption. It's not actually a wording, but if they did release a new game, you feel that there'd have to be a discount for the. There we go. Albeit not one that current players would be expected to pay full price for. Is the way they're talking about having an update or a new game. I think if they did a new game, absolutely. If they charge full price for it, it's like people have been like, what does it say? Once bitten, twice shy. People have been bitten. They're going to be a bit shy from spending 50 quid on Anthem because it's been shit in the past. That's what their experience tells them. So. Yeah, they either need to make a stupid discount for people that have it in their library already, or they need to fix it. The issue with fixing a game, you can't fix a game that people have already thrown away. A lot of people will have bought it and traded it in. Nope, getting rid of that. A lot of people might have it digitally and they've got it's already in my library of forgotten games. I'm not going to try it again. I've played it, and people will see it. They don't. A lot of people don't sit there and listen to the Scoop. They don't listen to. Our in-depth analysis and world-class gameplay and analysis and Bibbs' on-screen silent yawns. So they don't get that. So they will just see it as, oh, there's another update to it. They won't find the details. And a lot of the mainstream audience that are kind of casual won't see past that. They'll just see, okay, Anthem's still a bit crap. Unless they do enough to break through, and the early adopters start going, okay, do you know what, actually it's pretty solid as this now, and then a few more people, but then you need to throw a massive budget, influencer spend, just like the EA did with Apex Legends. You need to get everyone on board, everyone showing the content. Doing that, then yeah, maybe you can start to change minds. But I think even then, with that, you kind of start off with the PC audience, and to keep that playing after the release, if it's a paid-for game, you've seen it how quickly it could drop off. I mean, let me just quickly load up Twitch now. Let me look at the where's the categories section. So, PUBG's got more people watching it than Fortnite right now. Yeah, boy. So where's Modern Warfare? There we go. Look at it now. Apex Legends has 25% more viewers than Modern Warfare right now, and I think that comes down to one key thing: that all of the guys that played Apex Legends at launch were paid and became Apex Legends partners or whatever they were called. So you had the likes of Docs and Shrouds and everyone like that. Modern Warfare did exactly the same thing. But there's more people watching Apex Legends now, which is a year old almost, than Modern Warfare, which is nearly a month old, or is a month old. And I think that's because Apex Legends was free. So if Anthem does this massive update and throws loads of money at influencers to show it off, but then puts out a free-to-play early access sort of version, I think that is probably how they could get it back. Whether they can do that or not with a game like Anthem and all of the money that they put into it. I mean, obviously they'll have more information, and it's EA as well. They released Apex already, so they will know whether there's budget in there. So I think that's probably the way that they kind of want to go with it. The difference again is that Apex is a BR, which is a game that's made effectively. I mean, it's not. It's probably unfair to the game itself, but it's a game that's made to be watched on stream. BRs are much easier to watch than Modern Warfare, because Modern Warfare is team deathmatch, which is exactly what Dan Ladd has just said in the chat. Love playing Modern Warfare, can't stand watching it. Exactly. That's it. You play a game like Apex and you have a narrative within 30 minutes. You play a game like Modern Warfare and the narrative is, will you win or lose? And that's kind of it if you're playing TDM or hard. What do they even call? Not the capture the flag. They used to be called headquarters, and I can't remember what headquarters is called now in Modern Warfare. But yeah, anyway. So for Anthem, they've got it difficult for them to release updates. Even if you release updates, you're releasing updates to people that have forgotten about the game. So releasing something free is a good way for them to get in. But whether they look to do that with it, or whether they just look to go Anthem 2, yeah, it remains to be seen. Would you play it if they released Anthem 2?
Probably not. It never looked like a game the first time round that I wanted to play, so I can't see how they're going to try and pique my interest the second time round. It's just some games seem to connect with you, and I can kind of tell if I am going to want to play it, i.e. things like Death Stranding. I know for a fact that I never want to play that game, and it's not because I think it's going to be shit, I just don't think it's going to click with me, so I'll just be wasting like 50 hours of my life for absolutely nothing. So I'd rather get invested in a game that I actually want to play with.
Just bringing the Anthem E3 trailer on screen whilst we play. Actually, is this the bit that I wanted? I don't think it actually is. I think it's the gameplay bit that followed it, which I don't really want to open up right now. Yeah, let's leave that off screen. But basically, it looked good to me. It looked like a game that would resonate with me. I'll keep it on while I'm chatting about it. The fact that you've got that sort of team mentality. You've got the suits. I mean, I don't like suits in games as much. I've spoke about boots on the ground before, but it looked like it might work potentially in a good way. I think they showed something kind of like the bit that's on screen now, where they were kind of flying down into swampy bits, and you're kind of almost doing raids, and so I thought, okay, this could potentially be cool. But after that, they just didn't really go. I saw a young lad buying Anthem at full price the other week from Asda. I really wanted to say to him, don't do it. Oh, see, gamers don't let gamers buy Anthem. Yeah. So
I'm sure it said when we was at EGX that Anthem was £8 in Argos.
Yeah,
it was like a really big discount. They just couldn't shift it.
Which is such a shame, because we saw from that trailer then that it looked pretty cool. The gameplay side of it, obviously, it's made by EA. Obviously, they've got a lot of experience making Apex and Titanfall and anything and everything. So you know it was going to be a good game visually, but they just didn't have any substance about it. So I think if they want, like I said, if they want to be successful, your gamble is making Anthem 2, because you need to show people that there's value there. I mean, there have been games that have been a bit duff. It's a shit comparison, I know, but Assassin's Creed was a bit of a tedious game. Assassin's Creed 2, people always say you needed to have Assassin's Creed before you got to Assassin's Creed 2. The difference is people still liked Assassin's Creed. People don't like Anthem. It's as simple as that. So having Anthem 2, you've still got a bit of a mountain to climb. Trying to reinvent a shit game, people already say that exactly that. It's a shit game. If it was good, I'd have bought it already. It's not good, but trying to get them to change their opinion on that will always be hugely difficult. So yeah, I think the only way I could see, the easiest way that I could see would be to do something like that early access, that getting people in the same way that they've done it with Apex Legends, but whether that gets too close to the Apex Legends mindset, and you've got Anthem, where you've got people in suits with lasery guns and stuff like that, and people kind of come down from the sky with jetpacks on. Oh wait, or is that Anthem? Is that Apex? It's too much similar. Both games sound like. So yeah, There is no clear-cut way. Either way, whatever happens out of those three potentials, so remake the game, make a chapter, or do an early access version that's free, whichever way they go, it's going to be difficult. So do you know what? If they do it, and they do it successfully, then it will be a huge turnaround for Anthem. I'm not sure that is something that can be done, though. But EA have had more successful game launches than I have, so what do I know?
What do we know?
Exactly. But you know what we know. That is pretty much everything that we have to cover on today's episode of The Scoop. So, a quick recap. Resident Evil 2 is the ultimate game of the year at Golden Joysticks.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, boy. Dead Island 2 is still coming, as is a Battle Royale, potentially, to Call of Duty Modern Warfare. And also still coming, potentially, is Anthem being a good game. We will see. I think we're more likely to get a stronger 200-man Battle Royale game with a gulag than Anthem being good. But, do you know what? Feel free to come back and quote me if I am wrong. I don't think it'll work. The game could be good. They could fix the game. Maybe, okay, rephrase. I think the game could be good. I don't think that efforts to save it will be enough. Tell me if I'm wrong. If in 2 weeks, 2 months, a year, whatever it is. All right, babe. Just sound like you were growling then. Was that a car or something passing by?
Yeah, someone Ford Escort just come flying past.
So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us again for another week on The Scoop. My name is Graham Day, and this is Bib in a Bog. And it sounded like you just let one go then as well. So if you've enjoyed the show, please feel free to hit the follow button. If you're just lingering around now and you kind of think, what is this? Then you're just tuning in. Quite often we get people tuning in at the end of the show, which is quite annoying for them. We literally had some guy turn in last week going, yeah! And then we went to the ending slate and he was like, what the fuck? I've just joined! So if you are that guy, apologies. You can watch the whole video back on demand here on Twitch. It will be live on YouTube as a standalone video a little bit later on, and then we will have the audio versions on our 4 podcast services. If you want to see what they are, you can check out all the links, twitter.com/icecreamuploads. We will have all the links going out across the course of the day. Make sure you follow all of the channels as has been linked in the chat by our lovely mod, number 1, Pirate. Cheers, Pirate. He's also dropped the link to the merch to check that out. I mean, if one thing you want to do now, go check out the merch. It's pretty sick. Until then, we will be back at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Hopefully, Baby won't be in a cubicle in the bog. Hopefully, we'll have the full studio. But as I said to those that have been watching, the studio has been used for something secretive and cool, which we will hopefully be able to tell you a little bit more about towards the end of the week. If we can't, we'll probably be able to tell you next week. So stick around to see what those surprises are. But until then, Bibarino, do you have anything else you would like to say?
Yes, I will be hopefully streaming, providing that I can get home early enough tonight, because I've been playing in my first official FIFA tournament, believe it or not. So yeah, I'll be playing online on stream, hopefully about 6:15, because that's when the tournament starts. So I'm going to fly over as quick as I can. We're going to get the stream booted up, and we're going to see how far we can get in this tournament.
Nice. There you go. So we've seen Bibby go out at the first hurdle in PES tournaments. Feel free to tune in to see the same thing happen in a FIFA. Hey, banter. But yes, feel free to tune in 6:15-ish tonight. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, have a lovely Monday. As I mentioned, we're back 6:15 tonight and 10 a.m. tomorrow morning following that. Feel free to drop in. Until then, stay frosty.